Hello everyone, it's me, Kai Rave, and today I am doing a redraw of old sketches, specifically sketchbooks. This drawing was not in a sketchbook, but I wanted to redraw it anyways because I never completely finished it. So as you can see, I started out with the outline, and I just worked my way around the basic shapes of the head. This is my My Little Pony OC Airy Barrier. She's an alicorn. Of course, you're not going to be able to see her wings in this one. It's just a headshot. This original sketch I was going to use for for one of those like music videos but with drawings. I don't know what those are called. It's not the same as a multi-animator project or animated music video. It's not one of those. It's completely different. It was just using pictures. But anyways, so I was going to use this originally for that, and I never got around to it. But hopefully I can start using these types of drawings again for other music videos, I guess. Depends on the song, though. I'm not so sure what song I'm going to do this to if I do put this to a song. So after I did the initial line art, I just went over with a much darker line art, which would then separate what is going to be the shading from the light source. All of the darker lines, the way that I draw them, is where the light is going to be in between them, and everything else is just going to be covered in shadow, or what I eventually do is just cover it in black paint, basically. I did enjoy this process. It was a little bit tricky to figure out how the light was going to reflect off, and it was also tricky to figure out how I was going to do the eyes, but I figured it out, so I was happy about that. The hair was also kind of tricky, but I figured that out too. Once I had gone over the line art with darker line art, I then started to ink over with the lines. I started with the eyes because the eyes are where I mostly focus a lot of this picture, aside from the highlights. I then went on to do the rest of the face. I did add some lines, as you'll see in a moment. I added some extra lines that I didn't do in the darker line art. But I think those made the drawing a lot better in the long run. Just adding those extra lines there on the face as a way to say, hey, the hair is blocking the face, so there's shading. And then I moved on to the hair and everything else after that. Once I finished with the line art, I basically just filled out everything with black paint, and then I went into color in around the lines where the paint didn't exactly touch, just to make it more flush and look a lot better. And then after that, I move on to coloring, but at the moment it's just the process of filling in the lines so that everything works and there aren't any spaces that look unflush. Once I had finished filling in all the lines, I moved the picture over and just colored in the rest of the space, and then I end up adding a little white spot where I want the light source to be. It took a little bit to figure out how I wanted to do that, but I eventually got the right shape. And then from there, I went to color in underneath the line art. It took a while to figure out what I wanted to color underneath the line art, but I eventually figured, you know what, I've been seeing a lot of things on the internet about something called bi lighting, which basically you take the bi pride flag and you just turn it into lighting. So I figured, hey, why not use that? So first I just color in the initial space with the first color on the flag, and then I moved into the second and then the third color to kind of give off that bi light look. I also take this and I put it on the black layer outside the drawing, just to show off, like, this is the light that's hitting. I also colored in the eyes white because that's originally what they were supposed to be. I also added glow to those eyes a little bit later. Putting the color of the lighting on the outside on the black layer was a lot more difficult than I had anticipated, but I eventually figured out how I was going to do it. And once I did figure that out, I was happy with it. I think one of the biggest issues with the lighting on the outside was that I had to figure out how I was going to select the coloring and then go over it with the other colors. And then I also wanted to make it look like the light was hitting at a certain angle. So as you can see here, I'm just trying to match up the lighting to the underneath shading. And then I had to fix up something just a little bit. And then I end up erasing some of the lighting just so that it looks a little bit better. And erasing the lighting was also a little bit of a pain for me, but I figured it out. And once I figured it out, I was really happy with how it looked. And then from there, I eventually add some glowing look to the eyes. The glowing look was kind of hard to reach for me, but I think I figured out how to do it properly. As you can see, I kind of play around with the hotbar tools just so I can get the look that I want, but I couldn't find it. So then I had to do it myself by hand and figure out how I was going to do that. And once I finished with the eyes, I just saved this file as a PNG, I think. And I'll be posting it to Deviantart soon. So thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to splash the bell icon so you never miss a video. And I will catch you all in the next wave. Bye!